get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be the lover in your arms. I don't wanna be the one to keep you from home. I don't wanna be the crooked person in your heart. I don't wanna stop, but I don't wanna stop. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. And I don't wanna waste no more of your precious time. I don't wanna say that everything will be fine. I don't wanna feel your tears on my skin. I'm a coward, baby, don't let me in. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. So I don't wanna sit in again with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. Stranger traveling through this world of war. There is no sickness, toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. And I know dark clouds will gather round me, and I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields stretch out before me, where weary I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going. To see my brother, he said he'd meet me when I come. Hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. Darling, if you'll marry me, I'll buy you a house with a big oak tree. Say, darling, say, we'll live in the house with the big oak tree. 3 little babies on your knee. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. So hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird.
Good day. This is Thumbs United. We're doing a creative stream for Flotations and LCD Productions, and this project is for Project Park. Again, for Flotations, it comes to YouTube, and it's just called Indoors and Botanical. So this is kind of what we're going to be working with. It's inside greenhouses, and then some more indoor gardens. And so let's get to work. I set this up yesterday. I was getting pretty tired for editing, so we only did one episode yesterday, but I set it up so everything this should go a lot quicker. And so we're gonna animate everything, and then we're gonna go back through and fix all the coloring to get it more uniform. And so let's get started. Okay. I'm gonna shrink the viewer because I need more space. And I'm just gonna animate and zooming in slightly. And this is what I call the flotation. It's just animating the photograph. It's like animated slideshows. And hopefully it goes quicker. I've done a ton of these, but I'm trying to get more of it to be muscle memory. It's like playing an instrument. The more you do it, the faster you get. And so I've learned several different shortcuts, which you can see me use. And so that's the part that I'm trying to get in muscle memory. Before I had to go and actually move the marker to what I thought was the end. But now I found shortcuts for doing that. And these photos that are 16:9, they are shot with a JVC, a 3D camera, the Invero 3D, and it's a really nice camera. And I've discovered that it's best just to leave it on auto. For whatever reason, it takes incredibly good photos on auto, but when you do it in manual, something always goes wrong. And for whatever reason, in manual, even if you have it on autofocus, it has a harder time focusing. And so a lot of the manual shots will actually come back out of focus. But if you leave it in AI mode, which is what they call their full auto mode, it focuses like 99% of the time on what you want to focus on. And the exposure is a little bit too bright. What I usually like to do is shoot the exposure a half stop lower. And what that does is it just gives more detail to things that are bright, because it makes the image slightly darker, so nothing's blown out. Like up here, it's too white and everything. And so it's easier to fix. You get more detail out of the pixels, and you have more choices when editing. So these are just simple animations. Usually 2 keyframes. Sometimes I do more, but it's usually just 2. And what I like to do is zoom in, so then you see the whole picture, and then you get to look at the details. So I think the next image is going to be from the GoPro, it's the Hero 2. Yep. And this one we're gonna go up to down. And the GoPro 2 is nice because it shoots at 11 megapixels versus the JVC, which only takes 1080p photos in 3D mode. I've discovered that in 3D, the JVC camera does 1080p, but if you're doing just a 2D photo, it shoots it at like 2K. So I was like, seriously, why didn't you have it shoot 2K 3D? But the JVC saves a lot of images, and I kind of like the way it does it for 3D. So what it does is it shoots the 3D photo, which is an MPO file, which just means multi-picture object or something. And so then that's one file, and then you can have a program take out the left camera and the right camera, and then it also shoots a JPEG of in 2D, so it takes technically 3 photos, and so that makes editing easier because you can just animate and work on the project with the 3D photo, and then when you go to render you can swap it out for the 3D photo. So that's nice. It works well with my workflow. And they probably only did 1080p 3D because at the time like 4K wasn't really a thing. What is the word? Like 3D came before 4K and was supposed to be the thing. So they probably thought, oh, we don't need to worry about higher resolution 3D. But luckily the GoPro shoots at higher resolution. So we're already going much faster than the last stream. I want to get 2 episodes done in this afternoon stream. And then if I get 2 done, we're only going to have 1 more for the 3D episodes. And the 3D is going to be released for 3D TVs, and then it will also be exported so you can view it in VR goggles for the smartphone. And there's no app required. You can just load up YouTube however you load up YouTube on your smartphone. And then you just put it in your VR headset and let the video play. And to be honest, I feel like VR is okay, something's going wrong. What am I doing? And so I feel like VR is kind of the best way to view 3D videos. There's no head tracking, which is okay, because then I get to choose what you look at. But we are going to work on a project with actual head tracking. It's not 360. It's not a 360 degree video. It's 180 degree video. And technically it's 100 and the camera is shot at 122 degrees, so it's a little under 180 degrees. But it looks fine. I tested out some images and everything. Okay, so we're getting closer to being halfway done. Each episode is about 20 minutes. So that's pretty fast. I've been streaming for like 15 minutes, not including the pre-stream. Just double checking to make sure I'm animating correctly. Once you get working so fast, sometimes I get nervous. Like, did I actually do the keyframes in the right place? Because I don't remember. So these set of photos is actually in a greenhouse, and now we're gonna go to just an indoor garden. This is the indoor garden. So these are, I don't know what plants these are, but we have the close-up shot and the wide-angle shot. This is the same section. Oh my goodness, I have to post the links. I keep forgetting to do this. I usually have a routine where I do the pre-stream, and the reason why I do the pre-stream is so I can be streaming while I post all the social media and stuff. And usually I post the links and everything ahead of time during the pre-stream, but I do that last. And I've been forgetting for the past 3 or 4 streams. I'm developing bad habits. Bad habits, just straight up forgetting. Do. Oh my goodness, I did this all wrong. Yesterday I broke my glasses. I was building a flower bed. It's for my grandmother. And it's a special flower bed. It's on wheels and it's raised. And so we can put a chair or the wheelchair in front of it, and she can just lean over and garden. It's like table height. But I built it like 3 days ago, and then I put the dirt in and everything yesterday. And my glasses fell off. I was like so hot and I was sweating to death, and I was like, I don't need to put my glasses back on because they're just gonna fall. And then I moved the flower bed back to where it's supposed to go, and I ran over the glasses. I was like, I forgot to put it on. Like never broken glasses before, so this was like it was annoying. But I don't throw out my old glasses, and so what I did first was I took the hot glue gun and I glued it, and it worked, but the earpiece can't close anymore. And so for the rest of the day, after I glued it, it worked fine. And then at night, I went to go take a shower, and my glasses fell off after the shower when I was putting on my shirt. And it was like, so, it was just, bad luck. And I don't know, I've been really clumsy past week or so, and so the glasses flew off and landed on the earpiece, and it broke off again. And I was like, this is terrible. And so this was at like 2 a.m, and so I went to the garage and glued them again, and then I took them to my room. I wasn't wearing them because the longer you can leave hot glue to cure, and that just means to one, let it cool down, but then kind of dry out, the stronger it is. So I took them to my room and just let them cure. And they say 24 hours is the goal. But I found my old glasses, which is not easy to find like glasses when you're not wearing glasses. And put them on, and it's an old prescription, and the prescription is better now than the new glasses that I broke. I mean, it's not new, they're like 2 or 3 years old. And I was like, what? I've been stressing out about scheduling an appointment for my eye doctor. I have to find an eye doctor that takes my insurance and everything. And then I was just like, my old prescription is actually better than my new one. And it's not that the new prescriptions were bad. It's just my eyes changed prescriptions strength a lot over time. Like before, it's gone like from negative 1.5 to negative 2.7, and it's just now it's incredibly clear. And so these glasses are actually weaker. So I think what happened is my eyes kind of went backwards. But I'm still blind if I don't wear glasses. Like, I can't even see 2 feet in front of me. So that's good. Like, I can read the text now on my monitor. Before, with the old glasses, I couldn't even read that. And it's 2.5 feet away from me. Like, I could see things kind of clear, but it was my astigmatism that I couldn't read text. Okay, my animation's getting a little fatigued. slowing down. We're about 3/4 of the way through. And then we have the color grade. Making mistakes. You have the color grade, and then we'll start the next project. And hopefully finish that one. With keystrokes, it matters where the mouse is, and so that's why I keep messing up a little bit, because I do the keystrokes, but the mouse isn't in the right place. We're gonna have to save. I did this whole thing without saving. No, these are grapes. Editing the JVC photos are a little bit easier because they're all in 16:9. So I only really have to do two. I only really have to do like one keyframe. I still have to set the first keyframe, but I don't really have to set the. I only have to really focus on setting the second one. So that's part of the reason why this project is going so much faster, is because there's a lot of photos that are already in 16:9, and that's just the ratio that the majority of TVs are widescreen TVs. Before widescreen TVs, when everything was a square, it was 4:3, which is what the GoPro records as at full resolution. On video, it records 16:9, but you have the option of recording video at 4:3. And what's nice about recording the video at 4:3 is it's better for VR, but it's also above standard definition. It's like some weird somewhere between 1080p and 720p resolution, so that's nice. And talking about VR photos, last night I started the process of applying the VR distortion, the projection onto the inside of a sphere, and it's working. It's gotten quite a few done. It's at like image 200 and whatever, which is faster than I thought. There's 700 of, it has to do 757 of the left eye, then the same for the right camera. And it's barely taking any CPU power. The CPU is at like 2%, but it is taking an incredible amount of RAM. And so like it's taking out the full 8 gigs of RAM, and then it's doing another 2 gigabytes in swap space, which is for Windows it's like paging, but on Linux and Unix and Mac it's just it's a part of the hard drive it uses, when the RAM is full, it uses part of the hard drive as extra RAM, and so the operating system doesn't like to do that because the hard drive is exponentially slower than RAM. But it does help if it needs more RAM instead of just crashing. Having problems with the second to last image. I just don't want to zoom in as much. Okay, so that was pretty fast. It took about 30 minutes to do that. So that's pretty much close to a 1-to-1 ratio of animating to footage. It's 20 minutes long. And I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to have to go drink some water and stuff. I'm getting a little bit of headache, and I'm trying to not take medicine for it. I'm just trying to hydrate. So I'll be right back. And then we're going to do the coloration and everything. The color grade. Okay. I'm back. And we're gonna do the color grade, and that part's gonna go faster. Most of these I just have to edit the curves. There's very little white balance I have to change. And they're JPEG images, so you don't want to change too much in terms of white balance or colors. It's just curves you want to edit. And like I said, the JVC takes images a little too bright, which is fine. You can darken them, but it does. If it's too bright, then you kind of lose detail in the lighter colors. So this one. I'm gonna do something funny. I'm just gonna clip the darks, and that's gonna increase the contrast. And that just makes it more range in the dark spots, but it still increases the contrast without lightening up the image. So this was much faster. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the kind of template, not template, but the I'm going to create the animation layer and everything beforehand, before I start doing it. Okay, so the GoPro's slightly more yellow, so I'm going to change the white balance. And the GoPro, even though it's shooting JPEG, it is it's a higher quality JPEG. So let's see, that matches better. And I just try to match it to the JVC camera because there's more footage from that camera, so it's easier to just change the GoPro than change all the JVC cameras. GoPro shot. Oh my goodness, I think okay, I thought I animated something wrong. And again, I have to change the white balance. So that's better. And a lot of these images are so similar in color range, but this one is not. So we're gonna add okay, so this one we have to change, kind of independent of that other group. And the main reason is, again, because I have to match the white balance. So we're already about halfway through with the color grading. So I'm going to save it. And get a little bit more complicated with the curves. And here's a big set to do. So we're getting close to being done. We're about 3/4 of the way done. Yep, we're close to the end. This is going to take no time at all. It's a little bit too dark. In fact, I'm going to kind of clip the darks, but raise the, increase the contrast, but brighten the darks. I'm going to do the same with this image. And this is the last one. Last one. Okay, so we finished. So now I'm going to open up the next project. So this is the third, what we just finished is the third episode. Now we're going to do the fourth. And then tonight we will do the the fifth one. And then I'll do a test render overnight. And what is the word? I'll do the test render overnight and make sure the 3D is good and everything. Then I add the music, and I might do narration for it. I might not. It depends how I feel. Usually the narration content does better than the kind of just music and photographs. Okay, so this is the whole section we have to do. Again, it's a little over 2 minutes. But, and this one's called Flowers and Forest. So let's get into it. I'm going to add the... we're just going to go through and get all the layers started. So I'm going to do the animation layer. And then this first process will go fast. Adding the animation layer. What will take a little longer is adding the adjustment layer for doing the color grades. As we have to eyeball everything. And then the longest part is always the animation. And then last we'll do the actual color grading. So hopefully this takes 40 to 50 minutes and nothing bad happens. There's already a lot to animate here. Okay, now we're going to go through and find images of similar color range and exposure. Oh my goodness, I have to get rid of this. Luckily I learned a trick. There we go. And so if we had animated and had those two images, it would have been painful to delete that image, and I'd have to change the animation timing for every image after that. So now we're going to add the adjustment layer, and that's how I do the color changes. You don't need an adjustment layer, you can go image by image and do a color grade on each one individually, but that takes a lot longer because you have to do every image. The adjustment layer allows us to kind of group the coloring. And again, too similar. Again, this GoPro is wildly different. The GoPro is actually more accurate to what it looks like. In real life, but there's less images from the GoPro. So that's why I make the GoPro footage look more like the JVC camera. I have a busy day. I have to go over with my employer. I finished everything on the list to do, so I have to get a new list of what needs to be done. So it's just going to be walking around the garden and everything and making a list to do. Now that I fixed all the equipment, so much easier. I no longer get blisters on my fingers from in between the knuckles. You know, you pull the cord to start the weed whacker or the leaf blower or whatever. And when the weed whacker didn't work, you'd have to pull it like 60 or 70 times to get it to start, and it might start on like the 70th time. But now that it's fixed, my blisters are finally starting to heal, because that's what you get it from pulling the cord. So it's better for my health, and like the blisters are really annoying, because you wouldn't only get the blisters would pop, and then it's like extra painful whenever anything, you know, touches that area. So we're about a quarter of the way finding images of similar color ranges. A lot of them are going to be unique because this was the end of the day and the sun was setting, so everything is, the exposures and everything is slightly different. And again, these are all the JVC images, so they're pretty similar. But this one's different. So, and these next few are going to be different. Again, because it's alternating between the GoPro and the JVC camera. But yeah, so I have a system now of weed whacking and cleanup. So it's funny, I'm always like, I'm focused on getting my hours up, which is difficult to do because it's physically exhausting. So I have to build up endurance and everything. But in terms of getting my hours up, it's nice because now I'm doing so much more that even though I'm doing a lot, I always have to do the cleanup. And the cleanups are starting to take like an hour or an hour and a half. And the cleanups are usually a little less intense, depending on what's going on. But today I'm doing old-fashioned gardening. Like, I still have to clear out a lot of places, but I'm also going to be just pulling weeds, which before I used to hate, but now it's kind of relaxing and therapeutic. And it takes a long time, so that's like, yeah, getting my hours up. I want to get up to like working 8 hours a day. Right now I work between 4 and 6. And it's just, you know, testing my limits. Before, I wouldn't work in like extremely hot weather, but now I've been doing it so often, it's just like my body has gotten used to working in 90-degree weather and doing like heavy work. So much so that by the time the sun starts to set and it's like 70 degrees or 80, it's like, oh my goodness, it's cold. I have to go put on a sweater because I'm used to sweating to death in 90-degree weather with high humidity. So we're almost done. We have about 6 minutes left of footage to go through. So this is going to be easier to color grade. The majority of images, the adjustment layer has been set to go over multiple images. So that means you have to do less, less coloring. And you can see the sun setting. The sun is actually beneath the horizon. And this is the same location I just shot with the JVC camera. Okay, we are done setting up the project. Now we're going to go through and animate, and this is the last one of the stream. So now it should take between 40 and 50 minutes to do all this, and it's a little bit longer. There's about 23 minutes of animation we have to do. Again, I'm going to raise that so I have more space to work. And we're going to lower the preview resolution so that it just runs faster. So here we go. Hopefully that muscle memory is working better. They were taking wedding photos here right when I got there, so I was trying to take the photos, as quickly as possible. Just so we could get out of their way. Whoa. Oh my goodness. I think we have to do everything over again. Yeah, we do. I didn't have the auto keyframes set. I knew it was too easy to be true. So the good news is the first frames have all been done. You just have to do the first frames. And luckily we didn't get that far into the project. And the animation process will go faster because again there's a lot of it is in 16:9, so I don't have to recrop everything. Like this one, like I have to crop it and then do the animation part again. So this is slowing me down. So now we move on up. And each one of these photos that's playing for 25 seconds. So even if the animations look a little long, it does, it's actually going to be very smooth and slow. And that's good for 3D, because it gives you a chance to really take in everything. And what's nice about 3D is you get to really choose where you want to focus. So you want to focus on things closer, you can. If you want to focus on things farther, the viewer can do it wherever they want. There's two types of focus. There's focus with depth, and that's where things far. If you focus on something close, things closer, things farther back will go out of focus. But then there's also the other type of focus, which is convergence, and so that's the part that 3D lets you choose. And that's where your eyes kind of triangulate to scene. Save. Whenever the computer goes into overdrive, I'm like paranoid it's gonna crash. So this is going a little slower than usual. We're only 4 minutes in. I kind of feel like we should be farther along. I did it wrong. I was so busy worrying about this image that I set it up wrong. That's why we have undo. And I have to okay, now we're moving a little bit faster. Again, that kind of muscle memory of doing these repetitive tasks is kicking in. This couldn't be automated. It's something that has to be done by hand each time, because I find different things to focus on. So it's not like you can automate this and have a computer just do zooming in to random locations. And that's where the kind of creative part comes through. Even though this looks like I'm doing it really fast, each one I do focus on. And it's just easier for me to find the kind of focal points where I want the animations to go. These are a beautiful violet color. So we're getting close to being halfway done. I'm gonna save. And this part should be going a little bit faster, because if I remember correctly, a lot of this is in 16:9, so I only have to do a little bit of keyframes. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm back. And we'll pick up from where we left off. And again, we're going to be moving a little faster. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to do in 3D. So I'm just going to do a little zoom, because it is pretty close. So I don't want to zoom in too much. do. I made a mistake on that section. Let me just recrop this. So this is going to take a while. It's going to take like 10 seconds instead of 5. So now we have a lot of GoPro footage. I'm gonna save. Do. And again with the JVC footage, because it's not a wide angle 3D photo, it's telephoto. I can't zoom in as much as I can with the GoPro, which is 120 degrees. So we have about 12 minutes left of animation to do. used kind of this muscle massager. And it worked. Like, I am not as sore. Like, I did a lot of work yesterday. And I just feel so much better. Like, I did so much work that my muscles were sore as I was working. And I was like, oh no, this is going to feel terrible tomorrow. But yesterday I used it, and I was just like, it got rid of the soreness that day. Like, I could feel the muscles feeling better as I was doing it. And so I used it all over on all my muscles, and I was just like, wow. I was really tense, just in general. Like, some of the muscles that I don't use, I loosened up and everything. So now I'm gonna work that into my routine. After I work, I do the kind of the massager, the muscle massager. And so that's good that I can do it myself, because like, I do not want to go to like a massage therapist or something. I mean, one day I'm gonna have to, but not today. So now this is probably gonna be the slowest part, because there is a lot of GoPro footage that I have to animate. Get in text it. Okay. And it's getting so dark. That's why there's a little bit of motion blur in the images. So I'm not going to zoom in a lot for those. So after we finish this Project Park series, I'm going to be going back and working on the New York project, and we're going to be continuing working on the 4K footage, which is photography and video. There's no video recorded for Project Park. And what's nice about this JVC camera is the lens is really good. It's has an aperture of 1.2, so it's pretty good in low light situations. So we're getting close to being done with the animation. Once we finish the animation, I'm going to take a short break, and we will do the color grade. This was pretty fast, and it was about on time. It's taken about 40 minutes to do. Yeah, see, we're almost done. And this one I'm gonna pan down. And this one is a little bit blurry. And that's because like the sun is beneath the horizon. I only have 2 more left to do. And that'll be quick ones. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay. This next part should take 15 minutes at the most. A lot of this, there's not a lot of a unique color changes we have to do. And again, most of it is just going to be curves. There's a animation bug. Hopefully that got rid of it. Yep, it did. Okay, now we go back to color grading. And most of these, the ones from the JVC, just have to increase the contrast and make the darkers darker. Kind of. A little bit of mistakes made with animating. So that's why we go through and double check everything. With this one, we're going to actually going to lighten the image but increase the contrast. And then we are also going to change the white balance to be more blue. Yep. Now I'm just looking at the cement and that part matches. I didn't have to do the color grade for the white balance for that one because the sunlight reaching the top of the trees was more accurate. I kind of matched to what it was. We'll lighten it, but increase the contrast. And again, this one, I'm lightening, but increasing the contrast. And we are going to change the white balance again. Be a little bit more blue. So we're already halfway done. Very close to being halfway done. And it's only been 5 minutes, technically 6 minutes. So I'd be very surprised if it took the full 15 minutes that I predicted. I'm gonna brighten the images and still increase the contrast. And I'm going to also do the white balance. And this is the GoPro, which is why I have to do the white balance. And adjusting the curves and bringing down the bringing down the kind of darks helps cut out of the haze. So these images are too different. So I'm just gonna split it and then do something different. There we go. A little bit of motion blur. Do. So I'm doing another creative stream today, sometime between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and then yeah, I'm gonna finish the last project and start working on the VR version, I think, and then the 4K version. I don't know how many episodes the 4K version or the 3D version, the VR version is gonna be. VR version is probably gonna be like 3 episodes, 3 or 4. This one I don't have to change the white balance. It's both cameras are they came to the conclusion to be the same white balance. So we're brightening and increasing the contrast. Okay, we're close to being done. So thanks for tuning in. I'm streaming again tonight between 10 and 11. Let's say between 10 and 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thursday is going to be a rerun of the Mass Effect Let's Plays. And then I'll probably do a creative stream in the morning on Thursday because we have a lot to do. And then Friday is creative in the morning and afternoon. And on the weekend I'm going to do more creative streams because we have to finish this Project Park, and then we have to finish, well, we're not going to finish, but we're going to continue working on the New York project. I just kind of decided to do the Project Park because it's a smaller project and I can get that out of the door sooner than the New York project. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in. I will see everyone later tonight for the Creative Wednesday stream. And it's going to be a late night stream. So see everyone later. Bye-bye.